What's happening, man? Yeah, so they asked me, why am I doing All for the Kids, man? All for the Kids, man, it's a project I'm putting together, me and a few other artists, a couple engineers, just trying to really give back to these communities, man, and really show these kids that you do got people out here that care, man. I mean, it's sad with the lack of parenting that's going on in the world today. I mean, us as parents really need to step up. We need to really get involved, be more involved in these children's lives, and actually, mingle on what they got going on, man. Because, without us, it's no them, man. And that's one of the realest statements I could ever say in my life. It's facts. Our future depends on it.
It's called All for the Kids, right?
Yeah,
All for the Kids. All right, we're here with Niikkii Kage. My good friend, how are you? Good seeing you again, man.
Likewise, man.
We got a few things to talk about. I've known this man for a while. He's always doing some good things for the community. The last thing he was doing was the Best of Both Worlds, where you were bringing two different factions together and making it all about the music. Right. And we seen on the news, you did Letters and Numbers for the kids. You had a music video. It was awesome. Had the kids out there, and it was a learning experience as well for the children. So I like the direction that you're moving and growing in. You also have, I know, a project called All for the Kids coming up.
Yes, sir.
Right? And is this something that spawned from the Letters and Numbers project, sort of?
Well,
or is this something that was part of that in your brain beforehand?
I mean, it was pretty much part of it. That was the whole overall project, All for the Kids. Letters and Numbers was just like the number one hit single to pop off.
To bring it out.
Yeah, it's a 5-song EP. You know what I mean? With 3 songs already finished, done. I'm still working on the last 2 as well. The song Vows, man, we working on a dance for that too. So, getting a proper choreographer and going on in that, man,
that's. So you have an actual choreographer coming in to choreograph for the video?
Yeah.
That's super cool. I wasn't aware that it was an EP. I just thought it was a song and then maybe a movement of some sort. But that's pretty interesting to see that you're using your natural abilities in music and helping the community and your family as well.
Right.
So you said that you have Letters and Numbers, you have Vowels, and then you had a third one that was finished. And now, did they all have a theme based on teaching children like that?
Yeah, well, it's like Letters and Numbers, it categorized the actual name. Vowels is more so on the sounds of the vowels, getting them in like a nice little bounce. You know what I mean? Right. Doing vowels, it was fun, man. Just actually, even just recording, man. I mean, it was just like, it just had you like,
right.
You know what I mean?
I know as a singer, singing vowels is easier too.
Right.
It comes off the,
right.
It comes off the tongue. That sounds, I'm interested in seeing what that is.
Right.
Now, do all the songs have some kind of theme like that? Like numbers,
all
math, English?
All of them is going to be relevant to today's learning. As far as with the teachers, teaching the children, everyday society, mingling with them, intertwining with them, festivities, like within the mix, of learning as well.
Make it fun for them.
Yeah, gotta get down and boogie with them. You know what I mean?
Yes. Well, and it makes it enjoyable. If you can dance and sing about something, you're having fun. And if you can do that about learning, you're making it easier for the children to learn. And once they learn to learn,
right? Yeah,
sky's the limit.
It is.
I've seen that you did a few appearances in some schools as well, and you got to perform with some of the children there. How was that?
Man, it was very interesting, man. Shout out to Time to Succeed Daycare. Shout out to Greenwood Head Start System. Shout out to Bright Ideas. I will be going back there again this summer.
Bright Ideas?
Yeah, they asked me to reappear this summer. It's going to actually be like a cookout setting. Also, we got something I'm planning for the kids this summer at the park that we actually shot Letters and Numbers. And I want to do like I want to get a program together to where the whole EP is actually performed in the park in front of the children.
A concert of the whole
Yeah.
EP. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, even did you plan on videotaping that? Perhaps?
Yes.
And then that could go on to be an educational tool even itself.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Who knows? Schools might play that, for children.
Right.
I mean, you got 5 songs. That's a half-hour program.
Right.
That's pretty cool. All for the kids.
Right.
All for the kids. So we know that you're a father.
Yes, sir.
What are the ages of what's your oldest and your youngest?
My youngest is 4.
4.
My oldest soon to be 20.
20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's in this for real, people.
Yeah.
Like it's
Total of 5, man.
that's awesome, man.
Total of 5.
And to be able to do that, to transition from more secular music or commercial, as we call it, to actually doing something outside of yourself. Most of us as musicians, we write about what we know, what we want to do. To be able to put yourself in someone else's position, show empathy, and think generatively for the future as to what your kids are going to go through and your neighbor's kids are going to go through. Mad respect with that, man. I mean, to be able to write knowing that you're writing for someone else as opposed to your own experiences, that's a challenge, man, and you're doing it passing with flying colors. So I can't wait to see how it goes. As far as, do you have any other artists that are they're supporting you with this initiative?
Man, I got a lot of artists, man. I got a lot of artists, man. East Coast, West Coast, down in the South. That's really deeply supporting. I got a lot of artists. I got a lot of supporters. Period. Pepsi. Pepsi has really been helping out a lot.
I saw it.
You know what I mean?
Pepsi people.
Yeah.
It's no joke.
Yeah. Pepsi's been helping out a lot. We still got some things we're working on and some things we're working toward with them as well. Sheets always showing love, man. Big shout out to Sheets family.
Yeah, big shout out to Sheets.
Blend Candy, Old School Snacks up in Kernbrook. Oh man,
you've been really getting around, man.
Yeah, man. It's once you present the project, all for the kids, to a lot of the vendors and things of that nature, they interested.
People support the children, right. In any way they can. Right.
And that's what you need, because that's an asset in what you got going on.
Yes.
Because it's actually running concurrent with the message of intertwining us as parents back with the children, getting us involved, more involved as a whole, as a whole. And when I speak us, and generally speaking, so for the parents that's doing it, I commend you. For the ones that's not slacking for whatever reasons, just tighten up. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not,
There's judgment.
It's no judgment, man.
You can join with us.
Right. Join with us. Come sing, hopscotch, dance around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're in it together. Nobody's judging.
Nobody's judging nobody. Well, I can't dance. I can't dance a lick. But I let the kids teach me. Yeah, I did a little 2-step, but kids been teaching me, man. They teaching me that Fortnite thing.
And the flossing and all that.
Yeah, man. I had a ball trying to learn it. I ain't get it yet, but
Me either. I'm not coordinated enough with that.
Right.
So with that being said, I know you from your musical career, and I met you years ago. We've been contemporaries.
Right.
With that being said, we're used to dealing with other musicians, and you said you got the respect and support of other musicians and things of that sort. With this initiative, I know that it's made you go out and talk to other businesses and things of that sort that we wouldn't normally. Like in hip-hop, per se, we're going to talk to studios, other rappers, producers, for the most part, But with this initiative, it's hip-hop, but it's for the children, so it's got you talking to Sheets, Blair Candy,
right?
You know what I mean? Pepsi, these types of... So that's probably a new experience, I would think. I know with your job as well, you talk to a lot of vendors. How have you enjoyed that? Like, has that helped you in any way?
Yeah, that's the most interesting part next to supplying the kids with the knowledge, because it's up to you as a person on reaching the goals you're trying to reach within what you're doing. Right. So you have to be self-motivated in order to go in there and motivate these people.
Correct.
To inspire these people. You can't go in there dragging your feet. You got to go in there full throttle.
Right.
Full ambition, full strive.
Believe what you're saying for them to believe. Yeah.
Exactly, because it starts from you. You got to have your portfolios right. You got to have your resume. Your resume has to be laid out. When you go in there, you want your proposal to be up front. That's your cover page. Right. Let them know what's going on. Help them to understand why you're striving so hard.
And you're doing this for different people, so I'm assuming it's not a one-size-fits-all. When you're going into the news station, you're preparing yourself one way. When you're going into Sheets, you're preparing yourself another way, or you're speaking with Blair Canny, representatives, you're preparing yourself another way. So that, in turn, I would think is strengthening your own personal brand as well.
It teaches you the politics of this.
And that teaches the children, in turn, as well.
Exactly.
You got to go get what you, and have purpose. So I commend you with that, too, man. There's a lot of people that have talents, but they're afraid to go out and share them.
Well, you got to, man. I learned that a long time ago when I first got into the music, and before the internet and the social media and everything, and you actually had to be out there with your CDs. You had 100 units or 200 units, and it's like, now you got to promote yourself. You got to do what you gonna do with it.
Right.
And I remember a lot of long days and long nights out there, man. Out the trunk of the car.
Right. MC Hammer.
Yeah, man. Just out there, just grinding them, man. Promoting yourself, investing in yourself,
And I think that is a great lesson.
Right.
Maybe, possibly, who knows? With your All for the Kids, you have vowels, you have letters and numbers. But the biggest lesson that I see is you're teaching them to go have a purpose, follow that purpose, expect deviations, change up with the deviations, and come out in the end, and you're doing that, leading by example, and I think that's one of the best educations people can have as well. And failing, trying something and falling down, that's how you're learning. So on all fronts, man, you're a prime example of what kids should be doing, just generally want to learn.
Right.
You're learning. As you're going and doing all that, I'm learning about you.
I learn on a regular basis, man. Every inch, every second, every millisecond of the project we got going on, man. It's a learning experience. You got to figure out what the children want. You got to figure out what the children need. You got to figure out what the children desire. You got all these lanes to match, when presenting yourself.
Right.
With these festivities, you know what I mean? And you want to make sure it's correct. You want to make sure you're as proper as it can be. You don't want to leave out something. You want to make sure you bring it to these children as raw as it's possibly going to get, but so respectfully. Right. You know what I mean? At the same time, you want them. My goal, my goal from me to them is for them to be better than I ever was.
Right.
And that's just not my own children. That's all the children.
Right. The next generation. Yeah.
That's the generation. Be better than I always was. Because then you're showing me that I actually had. I don't care if it was only an inch of ability, but an inch of ability to help break that cycle.
Still a drop in the pit. Yes. It still has its effects.
Yeah. That's my payment. Like a lot of people feel like, they see letters and numbers popping, and they think letters and numbers is really increasing the numbers. But it's not about the money. Right. I don't do it for the money. Right. I don't get paid for this.
Right.
I don't get paid for this.
Right.
And I'm okay with that. I'm content.
Yeah.
Because of what I do.
Your payment is your kids growing up in a better
exactly. That's my payment. The payment ain't always about how big the check is or how much green you can put on the table or stacks and stacks and all that extra stuff. The payment comes from the reward that the children get.
Wealth is in its exchange value.
Exactly.
Like the reason you want to obtain money is so you can take care of your family and kids in the first place. And if you want to contribute some kind of exchange value that's going to help your family and your kids in any way, that is the way.
Right.
That makes total sense. I have another question for you before we get some information on how people can contact you. For those out there, you come from a hip hop background as far as musical. A lot of people want to help children or they want to help a specific cause, but a lot of times they feel like they're limited based on their own skills and what they're known to do and can't think they can achieve that. We see athletes do it through their profession. You have showed us how you could turn hip hop and still deliver a positive message, still contribute to your overall goal. For those, maybe they play violin, or maybe they're comedians, or maybe they're writers, or whatever have you. For those that want to somehow contribute to children or the next generation, how would you say would be the best first step to somehow turning their skill or talent into something that can help?
Get to know your community.
Get to know your community.
Get to know your community. Because, you can't necessarily always go to everybody individually and develop a personal bond. It's not always easy to do that, but still getting to know your community is getting out there, actually seeing what your community's yearning for. Okay. What's they lacking? What's going on out here? What's this? Okay, what's that? Get into these schools. They have open houses. I'm pretty sure if a person may not have a child of their own, they got a friend or a relative that have a child. Okay. Yes. So when there's something going on within the schools, or meetings, parent-teacher meetings, or conferences, or things of that nature, show up, participate, sit back and learn. Listen, you'll learn a lot. So, just say, for instance, if somebody goes into a parent-teacher conference, if I go with you and you go with, with a youngin, and I just go with you and just support you and the youngin, but I sit back and I mind my business. I listen.
See what the school's going through.
See what's going on. Right. So now I learn. I actually develop a technique, and the technique is what they're lacking is what I need to be striving for. So now once I take that, I get back to the lab. I jot down everything that was in my mental notes.
Great answer. Great answer.
Now, here come a concept.
Thoughts become things. You hear that? Show up. Be aware of your surroundings, the people in your surroundings, and then glean from that information knowledge as to what's going on and find something that needs filled. That's the best way to do it, whether you're a cook, an artist, a teacher, a speaker. Came from the man Niikkii Kage, man. He's doing bigger things. You're about to see a lot more from this man. For those of you that are vendors, businesses, schools, parents, anybody that's interested in somehow contributing to our community, as he said, show up. Showing up could just be supporting someone else that is out there doing it as well. So if you can support the initiative, All4DaKids, get a hold of this man in any way, even if you're not sure how you can do it, get a hold of him and maybe the two of you can talk and figure out how you both can contribute to the overall cause. How can somebody reach you? On Facebook?
Facebook, Niikkii Kage.
Spell that out for them.
Niikkii, spacebar, Kage.
Niikkii Kage.
Instagram, I'm on Instagram, Niikkii Kage. I really don't do Instagram like that. I'm not too familiar with it yet. Don't laugh at me. But,
still learning, too.
You can also email me at Mr. Jones, that's MrJones235@gmail.com. Like I said, I'm open. Those are my lanes in which I could be reached. And once I'm reached that way, and if the conversation's going to a little bit deeper value, I exchange.
Yes, exactly. And you can get started today, even before you reach out. Even if it's just helping the neighbor kid study for a test. Whatever it is, we all need to contribute to this. I am not a parent, but I've been an uncle many, many times. And helped my nieces and nephews with their homework or whatever have you. Showed up at their concerts. And now that they're grown, I do see the effects of some of that stuff. So what you're doing is important.
Our futures depend on it, man, and our futures are the children, man. Like I said, I said to Alex, the reporter, WTAJ. I mean, I said to Alex, I said, he asked me a question, and I don't remember exactly, you know, the fashion of the question, the form of the question, but I was like, you know, without us, it's no them. And we as parents, as guardians, as adults, we have to always remember that. Without us, it's no them. Yeah. So if we can't shine a light on the youngers and let them know that it is a brighter light at the end of that tunnel, then guess what? They ain't gonna get no further than present. Amen. So it's no future.
Mm-hmm. And we have to finish. You know, we made a choice. We have to see that through. If we bring a child into the world, then we made that choice to bring them here. So you know, we need to keep our
responsibilities and morals, man.
You know. Thank you very much for all you're doing. Thanks for coming by again. It's awesome seeing you.
No problem.
I hope to see you out there, you know, at somewhere in the community as well. And if there's anything that I can do, you already know. Musically, man, I'm down.
Hey, you know, I appreciate that, bro.
Check out your boy Niikkii Kage, guys.
Salute. Wow, boy. Wow, boy.
I feel like Brian Gumble.
Yes, now. Come on and say it with me.